What must be understood is the fact that NERA, in terms of its composition, is an amalgamation of about 16 political parties, and that tone and underlying current which says political parties means they have a specific interest which is geared towards political achievement of some sort. So in terms of sincerity in approach to having such kind of expression against biometric voter registration, you want them to see the query, to their justification to say that why has government taken ownership and responsibility to be able to participate in a meaningful way by providing the necessary equipment, the necessary tools to conduct such an election as they have been calling for. Now they want an individual, an outside entity, which of course purportedly represents a global interest in terms of the UN aspect, in terms of the branding, to say this is a global initiative. But we must be aware of the foreign policy relations between the government of Zimbabwe and the so-called global community. And when we then single out global community, you realize the aspect of international community. And the definition of international community in most instances and in other schools of thought is that these are Western countries that have always had not very good or warm relations with Zimbabwe in terms of policy approach. But however, having said that, you then want to then bring out the aspect of manipulation that is being brought about by NERA, to say no, government must not, and use that as a scapegoat, that government will manipulate. But this is an agreement, this is an issue that has been agreed upon, to say that they've brought out the aspect that this equipment can be manipulated. So if they favor the UNDP, which is a global community, which is an international community, then how then does the people of Zimbabwe, the government of Zimbabwe, appreciate the fact that that equipment has not been tampered with to achieve what they've always had in terms of interest, which is political? Previous demonstrations from late last year, or the fourth quarter, you'd want to see the understanding of the general public as more open to the fact that really demonstrations have not yielded anything. If at all, they've only turned ugly, violent, destruction of property, infringement of other people's rights that are not part of that demonstration. And that, in terms of the view, then you see that there is really no advice one can give to the generality of the people of Zimbabwe, in the sense that they've seen it for themselves, that these demonstrations do not yield anything that comes on the table for the benefit of family development. They don't address bread and butter issues. Surely can mbuya variku mzarabani, variku bikita, come and say, I want to demonstrate nenyaya biometric voting registration equipment that one is saying it should not be bought by the government, and the other one saying should be bought by the UNDP. And funding of elections is not done by foreign agencies, foreign individual governments, or a grouping of governments, without the agreement of the host nation. So that aspect, in terms of advice, I then go back to say the people of Zimbabwe have seen that demonstrations are no way to express views, as they turned out to turn violent. Then the aspect of biometric voting must be understood from a technological perspective, in the sense that you must also take cue from the Al Gore-Bush elections that were undertaken in the America sometime, and Florida was a key contentious area which then had to go through that biometric system, and the results were then manipulated through cyber efforts, which is cyber warfare. And if you don't have safeguarding mechanisms to encrypt your software that you are using, that equipment can be bound to be manipulated, which leads to contentious election results, which then leads to a retarded growth towards national development. When nations seek to move forward after an election, you have to have a conclusive election that brings out the results in a manner that then allows those that will have taken lead or eventually won to then form a government and lead for development of a nation.